Yo, you already know who it is. Price, Rob, Bruh, Me Goes Podcast. Back. We know we took a week off just to revitalize and recharge all of the good juices, but we're back.
So damn pretty.
We're back, and we're ready to talk college football, MLB, NFL, NBA, and WWE to close out the show. And all that right here. Next, Bruh, Me Goes Podcast.
Music, my boy.
Bruh. And Rob.
Me.
To start off today.
What's up, dog?
College football. But before we jump too deep into it, don't forget, like, say, subscribe, tell your friends about us, share all of that good stuff. And don't forget, we still have the W promotion, 10% off. Go ahead and get you some W whenever you can. Now,
get yourself that dub.
College football.
Get yourself that dub.
Get it for yourself. Okay.
Let's start.
We got to talk about this. These college football combos ain't wearing y'all out.
None. And it don't seem like it, dog.
Look, me personally, I don't think I'm going to get tired right now.
Really?
Because I'm going to tell you why. I need this to be as much riot as possible behind whose team didn't make it and whose team did make it. So we can change this.
Okay.
I need them to shake it. Now, in a way, I'm a little tired because there's some fans out there who are upset, that their teams ain't making it and this, that, and the third. But I'm not really affected by that part.
Okay.
I need this to be the ground shaking, earthquaking movement of my team ain't making it. Y'all need to figure out how to redo all this.
Yeah.
What about you? You tired of them? You tired of them?
Dog, I'm woe out. And the reason why I'm woe out, not because I would say partially because I haven't really been on my W as much as I've been needing to be. And that will give me the energy to basically take these combos. But it's really more that, like, there's so many different, like, parts and the way that they can make the playoff, all these different teams, what conference champion going to be ranked. We already seen, Arizona State basically take the Big 12 championship. Where are they going to be ranked? We got the Mountain West Championship with basically Ashton Genty. They were ranked number 10. Where are they going to be ranked now? We just saw, like, it just went final, the SEC Championship, where Georgia just won. Where are they going to be ranked? And all of that is going to come to basically those first 4 seeds, because if you remember, as we covered on the show, go in the archives, the first 4 seeds basically get a first round bye, or the 4 rankingest conference champions get a first round bye. So who is it going to be? That's where all this is going to come into play, because are you basically going to push Boise State up from 10 up a little higher? Are you going to basically have Texas come down lower? Where is all this going to play out? Miami, even though they ain't going to be in the conference championship, they ranked at like number 12. Like, where are they going to move? Yep. Alabama, another team who beat Georgia this year. Where are they going to move? So it's all these things, because Georgia's win just got bigger, And so, like, where is all this going to go? Like, where is all this going to happen? And my brain don't have enough energy for all that. And that's why I need to get some more W and basically use the promo code BRAMIGOSPOD to basically get 10% off. Because I like to save my coins, because, I got to put some kids through college. So it's like, I need as many coins as I can. So get your W, get in these conversations. But, dog, I am woe out. I can only say that.
Yeah, but it's going to continue for the next few weeks, though, Rob. And it's going to be interesting conversations that are going to be had about what's going on. Like you said, we just witnessed it went final. 19, Georgia 22, Texas 19. We just watched it here right before we got on to record this for you guys. It was crazy. Pulling for Texas. Goddamn. Carson Beck goes out. A lot of things happen. That was a great game to watch. But shaking these standings and shaking these ratings is what everything is going to come down to, Brad. It's going to make them figure out how to revamp this to make this more of a profitable thing for everyone else, because I feel like college money can only get greater if you can figure out how to feed everybody's fan base masses of their favorite college teams. If they can figure that out and they can figure out how to make this championship thing work better and have more of the right teams in the right spots, this can be lucrative for colleges, for players. It can even be lucrative for TV stations. It just has to be the right things have to fall in the right place for this right now. And they need to really sit down, have a conversation about this, figure this thing out. Now, moving on. I think whenever you put this one in, this is probably a very, very true statement that this may be the most exciting Heisman race that we've had in quite a while.
Yep. Because I'm thinking like, man, look, the last few, I feel like have been foregone conclusions. They've been like, it's a competition if you want to say it's a competition. But like this year, if you're talking about Ashton Genty or you're talking about Travis Hunter, this is like some Civil War type shit. Where, I mean, even though both these cats are coming from like the Northwest, essentially. Like, if you want to say Travis Hunter, best two-way player in all of college football, basically in all of football right now, because there ain't really that many two ways. But the thing, like, he's a really good receiver and an exceptional elite cornerback. And, like, basically he's been doing on both sides. Got 4 interceptions, as a corner. He's got 14 touchdowns as a receiver. Basically is one of the most electric players in all of college football. Like, but then you got the other also most electric player in college football, Ashton Genty, who's rushed for basically 2,500 yards and 29 rushing touchdowns. Yeah. Like, from scrimmage, he's got 2,600 yards, 30 touchdowns. Like, it's crazy, like, what he's doing. His yards after contact, only his yards after contact leads the nation in rushing. Not just leads in yards after contact. No, his yards after contact, which is like 1,600 yards. Like, I think it's like 1,670, almost 1,700 yards. Basically, is more than any other player in college football is rushing. This man is a phenomenal beast. His acceleration is crazy. Like, he got that like Le'Veon Bell. I can like accelerate on a snap kind of acceleration. He's extremely balanced as a runner too. So that's why he has like so many yards after contact, because when he runs, it's hard to take him down. It's like he's not the biggest cat in the world, but he's very stocky and strong. And so like when you hit him, you kind of got to hit him face on, because if you hit him in the sides, he's going to basically be like, whatever. And it's just crazy like that. But between those two players who basically would be the Heisman Trophy winner in any other year, it's hard as hell to basically say which one, because it just depends on what you want to say. If you want to be a Colorado hater, then you're going to basically say Ashton Genty, even though Travis Hunter ain't did shit to nobody. If you want to basically be like, hey, here's something that we don't see, and people invoke Shohei Ohtani, which is not that. But like, if you want to basically say, like, here's something that we don't see every day and not really seen since, like, say, Charles Woodson, really, as far as within the Heisman Trophy kind of context, then you're going to basically go Travis Hunter. And so it's hard as hell. I don't even know who I would pick, to be honest, because, I mean, I'd probably go Genty because of the yards after contact thing. He's basically, he's averaging, like, damn near 200 yards a game. Like, he's averaging 192 a game. He's averaging 7 yards a carry. Like, I would basically put that there, even though Cam Scatterboo basically said that he's the best running back in the country. I think he has a case, but he ain't that much of a case. But like a lot of these games, Ashton Genty didn't even play the whole game because they were beating the hell out of the other team. Like, I remember I saw Skeet. Yeah, I'm gonna say Skeet from Blue Sky. He said that basically he basically ran for like 127 in the first quarter against Portland State. Well, no, 137, excuse me. Like, he is great. And I would basically vote him in. But to be honest, I wouldn't mind Travis Hunter winning it all. But yeah, so what you think? Have you made a decision, Nate?
I'm so torn on this because part of me wants to go Ashton because, one, I enjoy whenever there's a running back having a phenomenal season. Him, Scatterboo, off the charts. Just watch Scatterboo, like, just help Arizona, just lace Iowa State earlier, just run right through.
Beat down.
And beat down. But then I look at Ashton and I'm like, man, this guy is tearing this shit up. But then part of me is so like, Am I going to see another guy play on both sides of the ball in college, and he's going to have good numbers on both sides of the ball?
Mm-mm.
I don't know if I'm going to have that guy that's going to play on both sides of the ball and have good numbers. Part of me wants to be like, give it to Travis because we're not going to see this. But then the other part of me is saying, if I give this to Travis, I just robbed Ashton just completely of his Heisman. So I want to go Ashton just because of what he's done, but I can't ignore Travis. I can't. But then I also think this. I think Travis is probably going to be a top 3 pick, and I don't think Ashton is going to go top 3.
Not top 3.
Nah, he's not going to go top 3. I think he's probably going to maybe top 10.
He might go top 10, like legit.
Yeah. Yeah, he might go top 10, top 15, but he's not going top 3. And we're all pretty sure that Colorado probably has 2 people that had a possibility of going top 3. With Shedeur being out there, Travis being out there, they're constantly being talked about. One is a 2-way player, and one is probably the best quarterback right now coming out of college.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? So, do I give it to the guy who's probably going to go top 3? Or do I give it to the guy who probably may go 10, 15, and he may get pushed down out of that, that really high pay tier on his first contract? I'm kind of leaning more Ashton because I know I don't see Travis jumping outside of 5.
No.
If he gets drafted, I don't see him jumping outside of 5. I just don't. Him and Shedeur, I feel like, are locked to go top 5.
Yes.
Because let's be real. New York football Giants, y'all are ass. Y'all need a quarter. So we know that y'all have.
I mean, it's fair to say I need Travis Hunter, too. Like, I don't know who they got at corner like that. And, I mean, Travis Hunter looks to be an elite, like, Hall of Fame possible corner. Like, he looks like he might be a good wide receiver, but he looks like he's going to be an elite, like, corner. So
Giants, I just sell the farm because y'all need a quarterback, a corner. Y'all need so much.
Y'all need Jesus. I mean, y'all can need Superman.
Buddha, Aqua Team, Hunger Force, all kind of shit.
I mean, he was at Gotham. Like, y'all need me and Nate probably. Like, y'all need all the help. We just need a spirit bomb for y'all Giants. Like YouTube audience, raise your hands to the sky and give your energy to the boys in blue in NY. Just do that for them so they can be not ass.
Can I get a hallelujah for
I'm just saying,
But yeah, they need everything that they can
booty.
get. Everything. Yes. That's an understatement. Booty is an understatement. But hopefully whoever they pick, just there is gonna be a worthy person.
Can I say something?
It's gonna be a worthy person. Go ahead.
Just for us to put a cap on this college football statement, or this, the whole country of statements that we got for this whole thing. Army. This is the first time in my life I've been pro Army. Back in my day, granted, I am a vet, Air Force vet, went there for a reason. Because I didn't want to go to fucking Army. But Army, you motherfuckers deserve to absolutely be in the college football playoffs. I looked at y'all basically put the beats to fucking Tulane, the Green Wave out there in New Orleans. Like, y'all fucking put the beats to those boys. Bryson Daly, who they call Captain America, and now he does look like Captain America. He looks like he took some fucking super serum. Like, dude is jacked, ripped, and can run the ball. Basically, 29 touchdowns this season, dog. 29. He actually tied with Ashton Genty for the country's lead in rushing touchdowns. That's the quarterback, big dog. That's the quarterback. Like, he only threw for 877 yards in the season. Only 8 touchdowns in the NO. But, like, he rushed for 29 touchdowns. I want Army in. They are the reigning, defending, undisputed American Athletic Conference champions. So they are at least a conference champ. I want them in the fucking tournament. One way or another. I think they rank, like, in the 20s right now. So one way or another, I want them in. CFP. Don't ask you what you could do for your country, for what your country. Just know that what you can do for your country is put those motherfuckers in. Be all you can be and put Army in.
Yeah.
Damn it.
Be all you can be, just like he said. And that, we're going to put a little cap on college football, but then we're going to move over to the Dodgers. Best team in baseball and the best team for baseball.
Damn right. I want to basically say, I'm glad you over there in Dodger land, in LA, big city of dreams. I'm glad that y'all bringing the feeling back. Because the thing about it is, y'all have $1 billion in deferred salary payments. I think that's the smartest shit ever. And reason being, I think that's the smartest shit ever is because y'all can. And that y'all know that y'all can. Y'all a very self-actualized team. Because y'all know who y'all are, you know who y'all got, and y'all know what y'all got. Y'all basically use all those shits to the best of its ability to basically build a fucking super team. Because what baseball hasn't had in a very long time is a super team. We've had super-like teams. We've had the Padres, who've had a lot of talent. We've had y'all as the Dodgers, who have had a lot of talent. But this is the time where y'all are bringing everybody. Y'all about to bring in Roki Sasaki, who basically lit it up in a fucking World Baseball Classic a year or two ago. I lose track of years. But the last World Baseball Classic absolutely lit it up for them. I would love to have them as a Cardinal. But we also wanted Yamamoto too, and y'all took that motherfucker too. So y'all about to have 1, 2, and 3 basically in y'all lineup or in y'all rotation, Japanese-born players. They're all lights out. I hate you, but I love you. And the reason why is because I think that what y'all doing is going to bring that feeling back and bring the people back, because now they got a carrot that they got to go out to. They got a carrot that they could beat. I heard y'all basically not going to bring in Yohan Soto. I think it's bullshit until that nigga signs somewhere else. Because why? Y'all can. Y'all absolutely can basically pay for him. Because y'all going to make y'all money back with what y'all did with Shohei. Like Shohei, because it was David Sampson. He pointed it out on Levitar's show the other day. It's technically a 20-year deal, because even though they said 10 years, $700 million, it's technically, since the deferred payments are the next 10 years, it's basically let out for a bunch of 20-year span. So it's basically like $41 million a year, which actually is pretty good. So it's like essentially the amount that money that they gonna be allotting out is just the second richest contract in the game right now, really. So like everything that they doing is absolutely smart, and there's no interest on the actual deal. Because the thing with Bobby Bonilla's deal, and the reason why it gets paid out even after like 30 years after the motherfucker played for the Mets, is because the amount of interest accrued on the deal itself. And so because they gave it to Madoff basically did it before he fucked over a lot of people within the country, and basically made so much money off that deal doing stocks that basically it just accrued even more and more and more and more. And so the thing about it is like, yeah, Dodgers, thank you for giving Tommy Edman his money. Also, Blake Snell. Can't say that was the smartest thing, but I needed a lefty. So it's like, I get it. But the thing, but as far as everything that y'all doing, thank you for being the carrot. All right. Thank you for being the carrot in the league, because the league has needed a carrot to basically run after, or a rabbit to run after, this whole fucking time. And I think that even though they basically are signing everybody, they still might get Juan Soto, might get Roki Sasaki. I don't think it's going to work out all the time, because there's always a way that basically this three-legged stool loses a leg. And so even though they added more legs to the stool, it's still to where the Dodgers are going to start out great, get a bunch of injuries, get some people back, and then go into the playoffs with 100 wins and then lose in the first round. That's what they do. That's what they've done. Granted, it's what the Yankees do too, and the Yankees done too. But like, that's what these teams do. The only thing that the Dodgers did that was lucky this year is that they got 3 MVPs that basically, one of them basically carried the load while the other 2 were slacking. And they went against the Yankees, who also basically been Dodgers East. And so that's the one thing that's the thing that's been cool with them, and I like it. But I am glad you guys are you. Keep being you and keep spending this money.
And what Rob said is totally correct. Now, I will say this on the economic side. The Dodgers just showed you guys how to play economic baseball, and that if your front office know what the fuck they're doing, that they can make it happen. Okay. So it should be a wake-up call to a lot of teams right now that you need to wake up. You need to get in those books. You need to figure out who you can hire to come up there and crunch the numbers and say, hey, I'm trying to make a contender. What do I have to do to make a Juan Soto happen? Because the Giants clearly went and got Willie Adames. They went and got him. What do I have to do to make the moves to get somebody?
Yep. And I love that move. And I absolutely love that move for the Giants.
Yeah.
Because I love Willie Adames. Like I do. Like, as far as, even though he's not a Brewer anymore, so now I can really love him. Like that's been one of the best players, like one of the best shortstops in the NL, like, for a little minute. So I do love that move by y'all Giants, especially when they struck out with Carlos Correa.
Yeah, they did. They did strike out with Correa, but it shows you now that you definitely have to be up on your shit now. You don't have a choice. You have to be up on your shit. You need to get someone in the books. You have to do what you need to do. Because if you don't do what you need to do, you're screwing your team. So, hey teams, this is a wake-up call. Get your baseball economics together. See what we can do in those books to make it shake. Because the Dodgers clearly are leaps and bounds ahead of a lot of people right now versus what your average team is doing right now. And this is coming from a guy who's a Red Sox fan and another guy who's a Cardinals fan. And we're watching y'all just build a dynasty over there. And we're like, Red Sox, Cardinals, do it. Figure it out.
Make us do that thing. Do that thing over there.
Do whatever the hell they doing over there to make it happen over here.
Make some shake.
Figure it out. Yeah, just figure it out. Figure it out. Now, after us, talking good about them, we have to talk about this because this is the new elephant in the room in baseball. The golden at-bat. So if you guys haven't seen, this would be an at-bat that has a convoluted amount. Well, I'm not going to say a convoluted amount of rules, but enough rules to it that it's drawn some premise. And me and Rob were wondering, hey, what do you guys think about this? 1. 2, if this goes into effect, you have to label everything now during the golden at-bat era. You have to. And I thought about this whenever we were talking about this earlier. Rob, do you realize, and it's going to sound crazy to some people, so do you realize if there's a guy who, let's say, he gets 3 at-bats a game, right? But because of the golden at-bat, now he's getting 4 at-bats a game. Okay, 4, 5, maybe even 6. That this potentially gives him a chance to run up numbers higher than what the average guy would have gotten before, we would have to now call pre-golden at-bat era. Which would be crazy to put that out there. Pre-golden at-bat era, the guys had this, and now post-golden, during golden at-bat era, it is crazy. But what do you think? What do you think is going to happen if this goes through? How much of a chance do you think that this goes through?
So let me go through what the rules that they've projected as far as this is. Jason Stark from The Athletic, what he's heard as far as what the golden rule that it would be. So it would either be each team gets to pick 1 at bat at any point in the game, but only once, and that's going to be their golden at bat card. Or they have the option of each team gets 1 golden at bat per game, except in the 7th inning or later. Or this one, which would be they only get the golden at bat if they're tied or trailing in the 9th inning or later. And so those are what they're projecting as far as what the golden at bat would be. The chances I feel like this is going to happen, 50-50. And the reason why I say 50-50 is because I think there's 2 reasons. The no 50 side is because this is basically going to diametrically change the game as it's presently stated. Because the way that baseball is a bus stop sport. And what you might be asking, what is a bus stop sport? When it comes to, say, Aaron Judge, for example, when Aaron Judge goes up to hit, he hits 2nd, 3rd in the Yankees lineup. He's going to hit, and then you have to wait for all the other 8 players in that rotation or in that lineup, and then however many players on the other side to hit before basically Aaron Judge gets a chance to hit. And so you could be waiting 30 minutes, you could wait 45 minutes, just like a bus. You miss that bus, the next bus might be back in 5 minutes, but the next bus might take 2 hours. It just really depends on whatever's going on. So if you basically have to wait 30 minutes, 45 minutes, an hour to see Aaron Judge hit again, you might lose complete interest in the game, especially if you are only there to see Aaron Judge. Versus football, if you want to go see Jamar Chase, catch a pass, you maybe got to wait like 5 minutes or 10 minutes. If you want to go see LeBron play and he's sitting on the bench, you probably got to wait 5 minutes, 10 minutes for him to basically come back in the game. When it comes to these baseball players or when they hit it, because baseball is a hitting sport, especially because you don't even know if the ball's going to come in on defense. You have to wait a while. So when it comes to this golden at bat, if they basically have it the way I would like it proposed, so this goes into that plus 50% side, you have a chance to see Aaron Judge basically hit with the possibility of 6 times in a regulation game. Like a regular, no ninth inning, no nothing, a 3-2 game. You can see Aaron Judge hit again. So hit 6 times. Yeah. So having the ability to have your stars being on display more and more is always a good thing. And I think that's what baseball actually wants. And even though this is going to go diametrically opposed to it, what I would suggest, I wouldn't even suggest 1 golden at bat. I suggest, like the NFL challenge rules, 2 in a possible. So let's say that basically you get a golden at bat. You use that golden at bat. Say you use it for Aaron Judge in the 4th inning. Aaron Judge gets a hit. You already have another golden at bat, but then you get an additional one. Or have it to where if, use that golden at bat for Aaron Judge and let's say Juan Soto's on the Yankees. Use it for those 2 players. You get another one. And so basically now you have a third. What I would caveat is that basically if Aaron Judge does hit in that inning and you get that and you use that golden bat on him, when his time comes up to hit, you got to pitch hit for him. And if they bat around, he cannot hit in that same spot again. So he can only hit once in that inning. So you're not getting that overkill, but it's also to the point of you can basically have it to where if say he was supposed to hit 6th in that inning, now he can hit 1st. Yeah. So you can basically have it to where more people are seeing the stars in the game and you can have the competition still be even up and still have to use that level of strategy to basically have managers have to think about how they're going to back their players within the structure of the game with the golden at bat. I think it's a great thing. I absolutely put my vote of confidence on it. I would love to have it in the game. I understand how any purist would be diametrically opposed to it. They were diametrically opposed to wild card. They were diametrically opposed to designated hitter. They were diametrically opposed to pitch clock. And I was one of them. So I understand basically anybody saying, I don't like this change. But I also understand baseball saying, we need to get more people here. And the way to get more people here is to have our best players have the opportunity to bat more times than they did before. Because the stars, every sport that's a star-driven league, especially like basketball and to football to an extent, they have their players on display with more frequency than baseball does. So if this is going into place, this is only a good thing in my mind as far as what the present day and the future of baseball can be. If you're talking about what it means to the past, like Nate said, you're going to have to basically label this as the new golden era of baseball because that's what it's going to be. Because you have to differentiate it from what it was in the past. Even though you had cats on, amphetamines and shit like that in the 80s, and people still count that shit just fine. But you have to basically label it different. You gotta put an asterisk on it because it is different.
Yeah. That's my one thing. I'm kind of with you, Rob. I kind of do want to see this play out. At least give it a run, a season or 2, see how it works out. But I'm going to understand where the purists are going to come from because the purists are going to say, hey, man, this ain't right. This ain't what it was. This ain't baseball. You're changing the rules. But it was certain rules that needed to be changed. Like the pitching clock, that needed to be changed. Because my uncle is 75, 76. He told me one day, he said, nephew, because I got him back into watching baseball. Do you know what he told me? He said, nephew, you know what stopped me from watching baseball? He said, you got pitchers that go out there and scratch their crotch and then scratch their ass and then play with the rosin bag and then take them 5 to 10 minutes to get off a pitch and then they repeat.
Straight up.
Then they repeat that all game long, okay? He said, but now, because they can't do that shit, he said, I'll sit here and watch a few baseball games. He said, because before I'd cut on the game, walk away from the game, I'm not really paying attention. He said, because they over here, pitch, scratch, one pitch, and 5 minutes to pass. Okay. So I was for it. And him being older, he was for pitching clock and DH and stuff like that. Cause he was like, let these pitchers pitch, bro.
Mm-hmm.
You got a hitter that can get out there and hit. Let that hitter hit. Let these pitchers pitch. Get a pitcher the most possibility for him to A, stay safe, and B, pitch as much as possible and get that about him. And I'm with it.
Mm-hmm.
I'm with that. But if this goes into effect, you have to relabel everything that goes on from here on out across the board for everybody, because this could mean more batting attempts. This could mean more home runs. This could mean more RBIs.
It has to.
This could mean so much shit. And this is where you're going to get the guys who are going to say, man, imagine if Bonds had to go on that bat for 10, 15 years.
Mm-hmm.
And you're like, mind blowing. Because Bonds is one of those people, I want to say he has like the most home runs with on the lower side of at bats. You know, not to mention how many times he got walked. Because Bonds got walked an extreme amount of times.
That's true.
So now you gotta label it out. You gotta say, hey, from this point out in this person's career, this is golden at bat era. He's getting more at bats. He's getting more of this. He's getting more of that. Hell, it makes you. It's gonna make the game play strategically now, because now, do you want your pinch runners to be faster now? Do you necessarily need the best pinch hitters? What do you need now on your team? Do I need a speedster to go out here and take over whenever so-and-so gets on base? What do I need? Now we're reshaping the landscape of how baseball is going to be played.
Yep, like if you basically have a lefty, like you got a lefty in your, like say you got Shohei, and you got a righty on the mound. And you basically like, I need to get Shohei, even though I got Mookie Betts basically about to come up. Mookie Betts is a righty. I need a lefty to go hit. And y'all can basically say, Shohei, you basically go up there and hit. So now you can basically say it's a matchups thing if you want to use it for that. It's so many things that you can do versus just saying, hey, more stars hit. Now you could have your best stars hit, or say like a Ellie De La Cruz, who's a switch hitter. Now you could basically have him come up at any point in the game. Now it's like you got that both that speed element and you got that strategy element that basically is like, yeah, this is great. This would absolutely be great for the game. It's just, it's going to have people that are going to be diametrically opposed to it. And I agree and I understand where they're coming from. I completely do. I just think it's better for the health of the game as far as the lifespan of the game going forward. I think that is better for that.
Yeah. And it's one of those things, bro. I swear I want it to happen, but I know where the pushback is going to be. But I feel like if this betters the game and this brings more life and more attention to a game that I love, I want them to do it. I just do. I love the other sports too. I love basketball. I love football. Shit, I'm a big 2K head. I won't play Madden. That's for different reasons. But I support the hell about football, college, and NFL. If this could bring something more to the MLB and showcase the stars and give people the exposure that they need even more, because I know it's somebody who's going to say, well, they make a bunch of money. Well, they make a bunch of money because it's uncapped.
And it's top end.
Okay? And people
the top end cats make a bunch of money. Like you either a top end cat, you making a lot of money, or there is no middle class where motherfuckers are basically like the average income ain't all that great. It's a lot of motherfuckers skipping by.
Yeah.
So
yeah, don't get me wrong, they making millions. But
but you got to go through some poverty to get there. It's just saying.
Yeah, it ain't everybody in 40, 50 million to see. It's a lot of them. There's a lot of them up there. But you more 10, 12, 8, 9, you know, on the lower end than it is a bunch of superstars on the high end. It's one of those things. Hey, but I will say that if baseball goes through it, you just got to label it all golden at bat era and just see how long this plays out. But I know them old cats going, the ones in their grave and the ones that's still alive gonna pitch a fucking fit. Could you imagine if I had 100 at bats more a season or 200 at bats more a season? They gonna go crazy. They will go crazy with that. Moving on, we gotta touch NFL a little bit. Dolphins.
Yep. Let's talk about them.
Dolphins. What's wrong with y'all, Dolphins?
Tell us. Come clean.
You know, go ahead, Rob. I'm gonna let you go ahead before I even jump on the Dolphins' ass.
So, Dolphins of Miami. I don't know if anybody has ever come to y'all about this, and I don't know if you guys are aware of the, status of your team and what's going on with y'all. But
they can't be.
I don't know, because it's a powdery white out there. They cocaine cowboys. They minds in different places, but y'all have a head coach. They got to go. He looks like Logic. And Logic, based on what you basically have seen the last couple of years as this motherfucker's been coached, is basically telling you that he shouldn't be there. He doesn't win against good teams. He hasn't won in the playoffs. Yes, he has Cheetah. He got Jalen Waddle. He got Tua. But that motherfucker don't do nothing when any of those motherfuckers are gone. Granted, they've had offensive line issues. So have other teams. They've had, the issues to their defense. So have other teams. They do not make it happen. And it seems like it's not really getting any better. Y'all kind of sputtering right now. Y'all fast team, y'all loose team, but y'all basically stuck in neutral. So y'all making a lot of noise, but y'all ain't going any damn where. Fire Logic, the head coach. All right? He looks like Logic. Like an older, more grisly.
Mike McDaniel.
Yeah, Mike McDaniel. He looks like a more grisly Logic. But still, he looks like Logic. Y'all gotta let that motherfucker leave. Because the thing about it is,
I ain't even gonna say older, more grizzly Logic. I'm gonna say he looks like Logic if he was 100% white versus Logic actually being mixed in real life. That's what he looks like to me.
I mean, Mike is mixed. Like Mike got a black daddy and I think a white mom or some other way. Nah, it's something like that. Yeah, I think his daddy black or his granddaddy black, something like that. He is black for all intents and purposes. But the thing about it is that nigga gotta go. He ain't making nothing better. When the offense ain't got Tua, they don't look like shit. I mean, they don't look good at all whatsoever. He hasn't really seemingly improved that team outside of like beating up on bad teams. When y'all in big games, it's a foregone conclusion y'all gonna lose because the teams that y'all play against seem like they can just beat y'all in any kind of way. Y'all got that dude because he came from San Francisco, who has had basically quarterbacks that look like nothing and turned them into something. Y'all had a something quarterback, turned him into an MVP caliber, but his head can't stay on straight, and y'all can't basically stay on straight either. So that's why y'all need a new head coach. Maybe y'all bring somebody else in. Bill Belichick is out there. I ain't saying for y'all to do that because that would be kind of weird. But there's also a guy out in Minnesota who's running a defense that y'all should probably take a look at. I don't know if y'all know who the defensive coordinator is in Minnesota, but I'm just saying, like, it wouldn't be a bad idea if y'all basically went ahead and just just kick the tires, ask them, hey, can we interview this guy? I don't know if y'all want to do that, but I'm just saying y'all need to go out and find somebody else new because what y'all got is boo. Okay? Y'all need to find something else.
Okay. And I went and looked it up. My mom is white, dad is black. Look here, Mike. You ain't got enough swag. Okay, first of all, we need you to get that together. Second of all, I don't know what's wrong with you guys in Miami because, like Rob said, y'all haven't gotten better. Granted, Tua was out earlier. Yep. We didn't know if he was coming back.
That's true.
Didn't know if he was coming back. And I will say this. I almost think you would have rather if he would have sat out the rest of the season. Yeah. I feel like that would have bought Mike McDaniel a lifeline. I really do. Just sit him out of I am a quarterback. Because their backup quarterback is abysmal. Just Horrible. So I think that could have maybe bought him a lifeline to stay there. Yeah, you got Cheetah. I will say this. The weapons on that team are very good offensive wise. H-Hand, Cheetah, Otto. You got weapons over there. Weapons only work as good as the person who uses them. That's it. That's the coach. That's the quarterback. Quarterback was knocked out for a while. Coach ain't doing much. And now that Tyreek, I think whenever Tyreek looks at this now, he's like, maybe I should have took that fucking money and shut my mouth up there in Kansas City and chill the hell out. Because they won one without you. They probably would have won it with you if you would have been there. Probably would have won it with you if you would have been there. And then D-Hop probably doesn't get a shot at the ring because Kansas City's 11-1 right now. They might make it and then three-peat and you in Miami. Yeah, barely. But goddamn, Kansas City might make it and you sitting at home still, you know.
Like just looking at them. Granted, probably in a nice home with like 10, 11 like pregnant women.
And great weather. Superiorly great weather. But nothing like those titles.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing like those titles. Getting paid and titles would have been great.
Mm-hmm.
Getting paid and titles would have been great.
Mm-hmm.
But, man, does that shit look crazy. I don't know what Miami's going to do, Rob. I feel like they're in purgatory. They're in football purgatory right now. They're not low enough to where you could say blow everything up, but then they're not going up either.
Yeah.
So you got to figure out what you're going to do in Miami, which is probably going to be head coach first. Hey, Bill Belichick might like you because you know you got like a 22, 25-year-old girlfriend, 29-year-old girlfriend. Bill would love for her to go down there and be in the great weather and shit.
Yeah.
He'd love it.
She'd probably love it too. Especially because that nigga just like he's right now interviewing for the UNC job, even though from what I've heard, it seems like he's interviewing for the UNC job to basically get his son a job right after he leaves, probably in like a year or two. But like, she'd probably love being down there in Miami versus being in Chapel Hill. I would think that too.
Just saying, you know, it ain't a bad place, you know, retirement type of place.
UNC is actually
great weather.
Pretty, you know, pretty nice area in like Raleigh, Durham, all that shit. Yeah.
I don't know, Billy. I might be willing to take my chance down there in Miami, you know. Yeah. Tell your old son, look, I'm going to see if I can get you a job down here.
Go back to the AFC East, you know. Hey, not the worst thing in the world.
Yeah. People will come play for Bill. I think people will come play for Bill, for sure.
That's on defensive end.
People will play for him. Oh yeah, they'll come play for Bill. Bill, you know, retirement area. You know, hey, when you finish coaching in Miami, live out your life. Young girlfriend, good weather. You know, live life after that. But who knows? Now, as we transition from out of the NFL into the NBA, told Rob that we had to put this on, and it's going to be a myriad of things go along with this topic. But feel like we need a little bit of physicality back into the NBA. I ain't saying go full on Detroit bad boys,
right?
But we need a little bit of physicality back into the NBA, and I'm gonna explain why. I feel like we have more players that get hurt on non-contact injuries, very light contact injuries, than we ever did in the past. Okay, and on top of that, you have people like Ja Morant, who's come out and said, I'm not dunking anymore. I don't get fouls called. This, that, and the third. And I'm like, okay.
That nigga lying, Your Honor. Like, Ja Morant also said that he wasn't going to basically pull out. He got in front of Jalen Rose in America to basically say that he wasn't going to pull out a gun in a fucking video. And what the fuck did he do? Maybe like a month later. That motherfucker just says shit sometimes. That's just what he does. If he says he ain't dunking, okay, wait a month. Let's see what happens.
Possibility, but you're all right about the gun thing. But I feel like some sort of physicality needs to be back into the game because it's too many touch fouls or We need to take all these refs back to ref school because sometimes people do get fouled. They don't call a foul. Other times people barely get pinched and they get a foul. And I feel like this is one of the years where I don't feel like I've seen enough flopping calls called. I don't know if it looks like it's less flopping because LeBron is always throwing his head back no matter whenever he gets touched. LeBron is the ultimate king of he'll pull a move. I saw one night, and this is the mind games he plays with the refs. Didn't get touched. They just swung by him, and as he's walking out of bounds, he does this like he got touched. He's bleeding or something. And I'm like, LeBron, nobody touched you, bro. Nobody touched you.
I believe it too.
No reason to even touch your head like you got punched, you got cut at him. Trot your ass back down the court. Let's get back the ball. Stop that. But there needs to be some sort of callousing built up again. And the other thing, the reason I'm gonna say physicality is this. You have guys like Ja, a few years into the NBA. He hasn't, to me, he's one of the people complaining, but he's also one of the people that I feel like hasn't developed his body. He hasn't. Ja is still bird frame, small as hell, trying to deal with the guys who like 240 in lane, and you like 180 maybe, you know. And you're getting up there at 6'3", between like 6'2" and 6'4", and you're getting up there trying to deal with these guys. One, it's not gonna work. It's like I said before, Derrick Rose was the perfect example of you become a slasher, you need to do this. Look, Ja Morant is 6'2" and 174 pounds.
Dog.
He's 174 pounds in the NBA. He is on the light for a point guard.
Yeah.
You're not even like on the like the heavier end. Like I want to say Lonzo Ball is weighing. Look, Lonzo is weighing like 190, 200. Yeah, he's up there. He's one of those guys who's like he has weight on him. Let's see if we got a 190. Guy outweighs you by like 19 pounds.
Yeah.
And he's a point, and he's taller than you. Granted, he's taller than you, but you're 6'2", 171, and you're complaining, I get fouled, but you're also light as a twig compared to everybody else. You're not very big as a point guard at all. Hell, I think Chris Paul, though, ass probably weigh a good solid 180 right now.
Motherfucker stocky.
If not more. Let's see where you look. Where you at, Chris? At 6 foot. And I just want to throw this out there, people. Chris Paul is not 6 feet tall. I've seen this man in person.
Yeah, that nigga like 5'8". So really, that nigga like 5'6".
Yeah, Chris Paul is not 6 feet tall. I'm 6 feet tall. I saw this man in New Orleans one day, and I'm looking at him. I'm like, this man is not 6 feet tall.
Yeah.
I was like, they're inflating your height a little bit. It says Chris is 175, but Chris ain't 6 feet tall either.
Yeah.
I look, Chris, I give you 5'9", 5'10" at the most. There you go. I give you 5'10". I ain't giving you 6 foot, bro. I ain't giving you 6 foot. But his 175, he still weighs more than you, and he's smaller than you. Because he ain't 6 foot. Trust me, people, he's not 6 foot. If you ever get a chance to see Chris Paul in real life, he's not 6 foot. NBA is clearly lying about his height. I know this for a fact. But Ja is doing stuff where I feel like I'm not going to say undermining himself, but I don't feel like he's developed himself enough to make complaints and I'm going to change my game like this because I don't feel like this is what I'm getting. And it's like, I understand where you're going at, bro. But Derrick Rose was a slasher. God, I wish Derrick Rose knees would have never gave out on him.
Yeah.
Derrick Rose was incredible.
Oh my goodness. Like, kids, put in your Googles if you ain't never seen some good Derrick Rose highlights. That man was an absolutely phenomenal beast. I ain't mean to talk like Stephen A. Smith on y'all, but like that man could fucking hoop his ass off. For real. For real.
Derrick Rose's body robbed us of a Hall of Fame career.
Absolutely.
Him and Brandon Roy are my two for their bodies giving out. Robbed us of 2 Hall of Famers. And if you guys don't know about Brandon Roy, you go ahead
man.
And Google him.
Do your Googles. Do your Googles about that man. Like Derrick Rose, we would have looked at Derrick Rose like we look at fucking D-Wade. If his body would have fucking handled. I mean, granted, I don't know how many championships he would have won, but like, nah, he was an MVP, even though they said Bron might have won it and won Defensive Player of the year that Derrick Rose won MVP. But like, that man was a fucking beast. A beast, I tell you. He was an absolute phenom on that fucking squad.
Just incredible. But back to what I was saying about physicality. We need to bring this back. We need to bring it back. I had to reel it back in for a second because I could just talk about Derrick Rose and Brandon Roy, and I used to cook niggas with Brandon Roy.
That nigga was all around, like he could do it all. Like he would have been a borderline Hall of Famer.
I'm gonna say this: he was headed in the direction of, if he would have left Portland and went anywhere with a good partner, it was over with. He was going ham. He was gonna cook, and
T-Mac another one.
But T-Mac is another one. Body couldn't hold up. Knees. That's another guy. Grant Hill, another one. Even though he went into the hole, but Grant's body gave out on him too. Grant was another one. Grant could have did way more if his body holds up. Way more. But physicality has to be brought back into this league. I feel like there's a certain callous and Rob that you get from being physical with people. It's just like how I could say it. You know how we watch people take contact in football, right? So in football, because they clash like Rams all the time, there's a certain build up to getting hit all the time. But now, because the NBA has become the sport of and letting you, I have to let you go by to a certain extent, which I understand the rules set. I feel like there's no callousing anymore. There's just a lot of, I'm going to bump you here or there, and I might knock you to the floor. But then there are some people get their Draymond Green on, and they're they get it in. And then you're not ready for that.
Yeah.
You're not ready for that.
That's person. A little extreme. I think we can go a week talking about that nigga. But we gonna keep it to the confines of this show because I care about y'all time. And I talk like Stephen A. Smith sometimes when he gets really, really serious about it and don't make an enemy out of me and all that kind of shit. Yeah. But yeah. We need more physicality. We need more physicality.
Yeah. It's either physicality or they need to put all y'all in the weight room.
Yeah.
It's one or the other. Y'all either need to get, which, speaking of weight room, and I'm going to just say this real quick. Steph is a perfect example of I was skinny and frail and got bigger, and now I'm not as injured as much.
That's true.
So, maybe it's weight room.
That nigga been deadlifting like crazy for like years, like basically like a decade now. And yeah, like he had the ankle injuries at first, and then it basically got done, which, yeah. I mean, that shows you, like, get your fucking weight up.
But what do you think? How much physicality do you think? Is it just a little touch, just a damn?
It's just a smidgen. I like some physicality. I like the old back to the basket like we were talking about before the show. Like Luka, for example. Luka's a motherfucker that will basically cross the timeline and immediately start backing you down. Like, it's at least 5 possessions a game. That nigga, as soon as he basically get across, he's like backing down. I'm like, nigga, if you don't fucking take somebody off the goddamn dribble. But nah, he's a big motherfucker. He's a big guard. And he's like, I'm just going to back some niggas down and play some old man ball. And so, like, I like basically back to the basket. That's why I wanted to go with the whole wide in the court thing so we can get more back to the basket opportunities because there's more spacing, because there's more opportunities for people to actually play in an offense and actually throw it into the post, actually have a big man do some post moves. Actually having some things in the game that were in the past that have more variety, whereas now everybody is kind of like a blob because the whole European style got all these tall motherfuckers trying to shoot jumpers. I saw Miles Turner trying to take somebody off the dribble, but I almost threw up. because I'm like, this big motherfucker should be in the post. Why are you at the top of the key trying to basically dribble drive? Why? I don't know. You should be there. Why are you over here? Like, get your ass over there trying to be a goddamn guard. All right? You're 7 feet tall. I think from Texas. I know you played in Texas. But, like, get your ass down in the post. Like, why the fuck? I saw the niggas, like, pull out. Like, I saw the nigga, like, do drive. Like, what the fuck are you doing? Like, you supposed to be over there. Go do it over there. But that's where you make everybody the same goddamn thing. That's the shit that's gonna happen. All right. So I'm more physicality because it gets back to where people have more roles and basically have more physicality. I like shit like that. All right. I'd rather go to that than what we got now.
Yeah. Just physicality, get in the weight room, get these guys together so they can stay healthy long term. You know you can't prevent every injury, but it has to be put into effect something. Just something to help stop this and help people like Ja, who clearly need to hit the weight room so he can get a little bigger and get more flexible and get into the game better. That way he won't have as many injuries. But I don't think he's ever thought about that because, like you said, Rob, he was too busy doing gun signals and whatnot at people and instead of doing what the hell he needs to do.
Yeah.
But I guess that's, something that he doesn't think that'll help. Now, with that being said, we've come down to wrap up our show. And like I said, if you like what you're hearing, like, subscribe, tell your people about us, it's free to follow, baby. It's free to follow. Road to 100 subscribers,
Look at this face.
But
subscribe to this face.
Subscribe to us, baby. But with that being said, how we're going to end the show is WWE talk. Rob, years ago, there was a promo that sounded like a church I would have wanted to go to.
Mm-hmm.
And it was a New Day.
Yes, it is.
Yes, it is. And I fell in love with the promo and the group and the church and the whole, and I was loving it. And from the outfits to the show, from the outfit to the shows to the jumping out of a box of bootios and everything else, it was a tremendous see it all just come tumbling down because of a neck injury and a hellified promo by Xavier Woods and Kofi Kingston. And I saw that you put they were right. Go ahead and explain for the people what you mean by they were right.
First of all, shout out to Jim Johnston for making that theme because that nigga is just absolutely phenomenal at making themes, and I absolutely love him wherever you are. I hope you're doing well, my brother. To sound like Stephen A again. All right. So, yeah. Like, when it comes to, like, this segment at Bramigos Podcast, we both love the New Day. And when you got Xavier Woods, Kofi Kingston, Big E basically come into the ring, and Big E, this is the first time he'd been on TV in a while. Like, after he broke his neck, he was off of regular TV. I would say he was been on the pre-shows and everything, but he was off of Raw and SmackDown and hadn't really shown up basically since his broken neck. And so I was glad to see him. As soon as I saw, if you want to go big, then say that. Like, Wale basically doing that. Shout out to Wale. But yeah, like, I thought it was absolutely great. And I will say this. Me, even though what happened in that ring where they basically had the issues and Big E said, I'm going to basically manage you guys and I'm going to come back, and when I get clear, we're going to all be good and happy. And then Xavier Woods said, now you come back. I cried laughing. I could not stop laughing from sunup to sundown of that segment. And granted, I know I'm not like a dark comedy conduit. Well, I like some dark comedy, but like I ain't I laugh at pain and shit like that. But what I saw is three homies having fun. Like, it's kind of like with the Bloodline. The Bloodline, it feels like basically when you used to play wrestling with your cousins. Like, you would basically make up shit and y'all would basically be like, I'm the manager, I'm the GM, I'm the wrestler, I'm the champion. And like, that's what it feels like with them. When it came to the New Day, it felt like three homies acting some shit out. So like when Kofi was talking about, Kurt Angle came back from a broken neck, Stone Cold came back from a broken neck, I feel like that was a conversation that they had probably a while back as Big E is either trying to do surgeries and trying to rehab his neck. Also, I felt like the lines where they were talking about you and your desk job and you and your girlfriend, that was a Triple H influence line. Whether Triple H wrote that or HBK wrote that or Road Dogg, somebody within that flock basically wrote that shit. Or they were the muse for that, or Triple H was the muse for that to basically make that line, because that was very much a Triple H type statement. Like, hey, since you going corporate, since you basically got your new girl, now you ain't got time for us no more. That's where I like, that's one of those kind of lines, like, you know, your homies basically been saying that shit for years, and now you basically can, you know, come up with on them like that. But nah, it was a great segment. Big E was absolutely phenomenal in it, basically being able, and he looked a lot skinnier. Looked like he lost some weight, granted, probably because he is still lifted. He said he's still lifted, but you know, he ain't in the ring no more. He's probably lost some muscle. But nah, like it was a great segment. I couldn't stop laughing. And he did want to bring them together. He did say that he wanted Xavier Woods and Kofi to stop fighting. I would say that's mission accomplished. Now, granted, it might not be in the way that he wanted it, but I'm saying, like, they were like, hey, we only got us. It's me and you now. Like, I'd say, you know, like the George Bush mission accomplished thing, he did that shit. So, I mean, we'll see what happens with Big E, because he kept saying when I get cleared. So I'm thinking he might either be cleared right now or he actually is close. But yeah, that shit was actually great. I can't wait to see what more happens. But yeah, that for me, I loved it. But I kept laughing.
So this is what I'm gonna say. Loved it. One thing that I feel like would have made this shit even better was if kayfabe was alive still.
Yes.
If kayfabe was alive, this shit would have been even better. But you know, they have a podcast together. They have all type of shit.
Bring back the podcast. Bring back the new. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you.
Oh no problem. No, but like they had like the podcast, so we know, you know, how they really get along. You know, they really do. But I feel like, man, if kayfabe was alive, you'd be like, man, these motherfuckers hate each other, because that's what kayfabe kind of did for the industry. It made you believe even, you know, more in what may or may not have been going on. But I love it.
Mm-hmm.
I love the segment. I love them pointing out what's, you know, who all came back. Stone Cold came back. This person came back. That person came back. And the one thing I'll say is this. The reason I think that they've done this is two reasons. I think if Big E does come back, which I think he will come back, I think that WWE knows it's time for him to make a title push somewhere. That he has to be, I'm going to be honest. I love Kofi. I love Xavier Woods, okay? But those two work really well together than them being separate amongst each other. And the one person out of that group who's really good by itself is Big E. And if Big E comes back, I don't want him in a group. I need a superstar. Because Big E has tremendous mic skill. He's an athlete. He can wrestle. He's a former wrestler. He's strong. He has that shit Vince McMahon used to love. Big guy, muscular, big arms, super strong, but he's athletic with it. Okay? And by him being able to work the mic, it makes him even more of a better candidate to put out there. Now, with that being said, you put him out there right now with some of the guys that are wrestling right now on the top end, your Roman Reigns, your Drew McIntyres, all of those guys, you making some matches now. You know? You're making some high-end matches. And because he works the mic so well, you can say, okay, Biggie, you need to go cut this promo. You're on your own. You're pushing you. And there's all kind of storylines you can push out there, whether you want him to get back at the New Day or get back at Kofi and Woods, or if you just want him to go to another program and become a monster that goes on a rip, and put him in there with the other monsters and just wrestle and come out on top as a black heavyweight champ, which I'd love. W. Look at me whenever I say that, WWE. You put him as a champion.
Again.
What? I digress. Yeah, again. But I do feel like he's gonna probably come back, because even though he broke 2 cervical vertebrae, he did stem cells. He didn't have to have major surgery. He's not having strength issues. He's not having pain issues and stuff like that. So I'm thinking he's coming back. Now we're going to see, because WWE, I remember Big E's contract was signed in 2019. So this will be the 5th year, his 5-year agreement. We have to see if they bring him back, what it would look like, what he would do. But if he comes back, it's a plethora of storylines you can do with him in the New Day, him and these guys, and just pulling him away from them. Because as much as I want to see them continue and maybe be in his background, he's the guy that I feel like Kofi had Kofi Mania, but Kofi is like the black AJ Styles in a way. They can wrestle, but how much do you really want to keep your title? Just how much? Because you know what AJ Styles having the title reminded me of? Bret Hart. I got this title on you because you're a reliable dude and you put on the show and everything, but I necessarily don't want this on you whenever I can go somewhere else, but I can use you right now.
Yeah.
And I feel like Kofi was the same spot with Kofi Mania at the time. And that they knew, I think WWE knew that eventually this guy has to break free of these other 2 guys. He has to. And it just so happened the neck injury happened, and now they're a tag team. They're doing their own thing, and now we can turn them against him. And hopefully, we just speculating, if he comes back and he makes a real singles run in his career and he gets a title at some point, he gets a heavyweight championship at some point by himself and makes a run, this will be the notch in what separates him from being just a part of New Day, and New Day being their high cap. It would be Big E had a title run and he was a part of New Day, one of the best tag teams in WWE in WWE history. Because whenever I think of Kofi as the champion, I think of you put the belt on Kofi and then you squashed his ass and you didn't give him a good run. But this huge guy, if he got in there with Brock Lesnar, he can hold his own with Brock Lesnar. He can hold his own with McIntyre. He can hold his own with these other guys. Versus you put Kofi in there and Kofi gets flipped around like a goddamn Whopper at Burger King, and out in a few seconds, it was over. So, hopefully, that's what I hope happens.
Yeah.
But nonetheless, this was great. WWE promo, it was great. Everything from them.
Yeah.
Now, where you go from here, I don't know. But I think we're going somewhere. Because with that group of guys, it's always something good with that group of guys. I agree. Always. Now, if you just had to make him a tag team partner, I'm just throw this out there, Rob. What would you think of if they could get Keith Lee back?
I was thinking about him. Either Keith Lee or Obafemi out of NXT. They get that big motherfucker to basically be. Or, see, here's who I would say. Like, because I was talking with my coworkers about this. Like, if they basically get Big E back, let's say Big E is cleared, Wes Lee would be a perfect tag team partner. Obafemi would be a perfect tag team partner. That's really it. Like, if they can get Keith Lee back, I mean, Keith Lee has been working well in AEW, and I mean, granted, I'll be honest, I haven't watched any AEW in a while, but I heard he was doing okay. But like, I would say those 3 cats would be great partners to basically counterbalance like Kofi and Xavier. I love to see it.
Yeah, that would be something crazy. It would be something crazy. Now, I do want to say this here. If you haven't seen Keith Lee in AEW, like, fool and knocked off a little bit of fat, you know.
Oh, for real?
Yeah, he's still punchy, but he's starting to get his definition in there. I was like, man, you got to watch out. It's a big-ass guy to be talking about. He got a six-pack. Be like, God damn, Keith. But he would be an incredible just person, just, you know, just him and him and Big E, or just Big E on his own championship run, would just be just mythical. Just to hear him cut promos and go against some of these guys. And I think throwing him in the heavyweight, like in a heavyweight title predicament, and letting him win and hold it a while and just getting out there and wrestle if he's clear, I feel like, to me, WWE, that brings so much more, because he could win it, hold that sucker a year, and then New Day interfere, and then he fights back for it. You could have all kind of shit happen. You know, he could go back and forth with the title, get it 2-3 times. It's so many things that I think that you could do with him and that group that could work to keep them relevant, not only as a tag team, but attached to him, and B, just let him have his run, because Big E reminds me of a better version of Lashley on the mic. To me, I feel like he's better than Bobby Lashley. Just a little bit, because Bobby's nice on the mic. Bobby's nice on the mic. You don't think he's a little bit better? I think he could be maybe a little bit better if we gave him time. He by himself.
I'm trying not to be mean towards Bobby Lashley right now. I would just say, I won't say anything.
Nah, say what you gotta say. Say what you gotta say about Bobby.
Bobby Lashley, okay. Bobby Lashley got better.
Yeah, he did.
That motherfucker was clunky for a very, very. Or I'll say WWE. I didn't see him in TNA. I heard he was good in TNA, so I'm not gonna say too much about that. But he was very clunky. And I mean, people saw it, say it was Black Lesnar and everything like that, because Brock wasn't that good on the mic either until basically like very, 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 very late. And so, Big E is great on the mic. He's better than Bobby Lashley. He laps Bobby Lashley on the mic. But that's just me. That's what I said. For me, I would put Big E way, way better. I mean, for real, personally, I was always, even when Kofi won the world championship, I was like, he's the third best member of that group. Like, I put Big E first, Xavier second, then him third. Like, no, Big E,
and that's no knock.
Not at all.
Kofi. That's no knock to you.
Not at all.
We just look at you, and I feel like Kofi was so. I know what you guys did at the spur of the moment for the Kofi Mania thing, but I feel like Big E is just one of those dudes, bro. Like, he's good on the mic. He's that bigger guy. He's there. He got everything that you really, really want in, we're gonna say, the stereotype of a wrestler. Big, muscular guy, good on the mic, charismatic. And this is my other thing that I think made Big E better on the mic than Bobby. They made Bobby so serious, and I don't think that he ever caught on trying to be serious and smooth with it at the same time on the mic.
Yeah.
Whereas Big E started off serious, but by the time they gave him the mic, he was so much into who he was in the New Day, it was just natural and it flowed.
That's
for him.
fair.
And they didn't do that for Lashley, because Lashley was a motherfucker. Let me tell you something. Lashley was one of the most athletic dudes that I've ever seen. First of all, we as human beings, especially human beings like him, should not be doing some of the shit that he does.
The thing with AEW, and they got both of like the most muscular, athletic 50-year-old black men I've ever seen in my entire life. Because I want to say,
move back in front of the mic a little bit.
They like between, you hear me now? Like between Shelton Benjamin and Bobby Lashley, they got two of the most athletic 50-year-old motherfuckers I've ever seen in my entire life. Like, Bobby Lashley is still one of the most cut motherfuckers that, like, I think, I gotta look his age up. I think he is like 50. Hold on. Let me look this up. Y'all keep going. I'm gonna look this thing up after I just talk bad about this nigga. Hold on. 48.
And the thing, 48, bro. And he's 273 pounds and he's built like,
like just still cut out of granite. And then like Shelton Benjamin, 49, still look exceptional. Like, I don't know how that motherfucker does it either.
And I'm gonna say this before we get about it, because I know we're rambling on right now, but we need to do a list of the most underused wrestlers that was some of their prime, and I think Shelton Benjamin is going to be somewhere near the top of that list, especially for WWE, because Shelton Benjamin literally had the package to do it all. He was athletic. He could speak on the mic. He could do any goddamn wrestling move you wanted in that ring. Okay? And he came in there and was partnered up with Brock Lesnar. Brock got the rocket strapped to his back. Shelton never quite got that. I think Shelton maybe had like an Intercontinental and maybe like some tag team. Yeah. But he never got that rocket strapped to his back like that. And he's one of those dudes that I feel like you should have had the rocket on this dude. Because he could do anything and everything. He was like the Black Shawn Michaels to me. He was literally like the Black Shawn Michaels, because they had that charisma about him, and they had that athletic ability that they could do whatever. And you could ask them, hey, bro, I need you to go out here and do this for me and do that for me. And Shelton jump off the top rope. He took a flying super kick from one side of the ring to the other. I don't know if you remember that. The super kick he took from Shawn.
Yeah, they on Monday Night Raw.
One side of the ropes.
At that tournament that they had, basically, I remember.
We're going to do a wrestling episode for y'all. And it's going to be extremely fire, because it's so much shit that we know that we watch between me and Rob, the years of wrestling that we probably put in, wasted. Probably, if we could turn our time as wrestling fans in the degree, we'd probably be astrophysicists or some shit like that. Do some crazy crap here. We're gonna have to do one about underrated, underused wrestlers and stuff like that, because that's gonna be a banger. I feel like that'll be a banger. But we'll wrap it up. I'll bring it back home. Xavier Woods and the New Day. Xavier Woods, Kofi Kingston, and Big E of the New Day. Them separating from Big E now is gonna be one of those things where now if Big E is clear, you gotta do something with it. Go make your money with Big E. Big E, get your money, baby, and do your thing. And I hope that they strap a rocket to your back and throw you up there and put you in the mix. Hell, I don't care if Big E went out. Big E need to be out there fighting the bloodline, and the New Day come back to help save him or something like that. Something crazy. I don't know. WWE, I swear to God, if you take my goddamn story, I will be pissed. Shit you not. I'm going to be pissed if y'all do that to me. I'm going to be mad, because I feel like y'all have people out there on the internet taking out. That sounds like a great idea. Then in a year, here come the New Day saving Big E during his championship title match, and he wins, and then I'm gonna be highly upset. I will be extremely upset with you guys. Y'all have no clue. But with that being said, me and Rob need to get up out of here. We're gonna go ahead and get up out of here. Remember, like, subscribe, tell your people about the road to 100 subscribers. Yeah, road to 100. Remember, subscribing to us is free. You can unsubscribe at any time.
Cost you nothing. Do it right now. What are you doing?
Zero.
What are you doing? Go ahead. Just do it right now.
Hit that button.
Hit all the buttons.
Just hit the button.
Tell a friend to hit that button. Tell a friend. Tell a homie to tell a homie to hit that friend. To hit that button.
Like, comment, subscribe, everything. Help us out. Help us grow the platform so we can reach more ears.
Get us in more ear holes.
Yeah.
Damn it.
And on y'all TV screens.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. Get us on your TV screens.
Technology. Get all of us in your technology.
Oh.
Every bit.
All over
every
it.
bit.
Every bit. But that's us. Price, Rob, Bro Amigos Podcast. You guys have a great day. Tell somebody you love them. Rob,
good night, Canada. Good night, Taylor Swift. Good night to all y'all. Hope y'all had a great Thanksgiving. Hope y'all have a great Christmas. I mean, we're going to see y'all. But you Christmas shopping, putting up a tree, all that kind of shit. Peace out. We out.
Peace. We done.
Thanks for checking out this episode of the Bro Amigos Podcast. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe so you never miss an episode.